Yo, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Gurren Otaku Council podcast. As always, I'm your host Ace, and that is my friend McMillian. And today we got episode 87, everybody. Well, we got the Ninja Kamui review for you, everybody. Was it great or did it flop like everybody else said? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. But of course, before we get it all day, if you'd like to join me, my friend McMillian, as we discuss all things anime and sometimes manga, then please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as well as follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date on all things about the council. Ladies and gentlemen, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. All right, everybody. As always, thank you all for joining us for another week. I hope everybody is doing super fantastic. How you doing today, McMillian?
I'm doing great, my friend. How about you?
Doing good. So, the spring season, is fully under wraps. Some good shows that's going on. But today, we got to talk about a show that may or may not have flopped due to expectations. But of course, before we get into all that, why don't you go ahead and hit everybody with the council announcements?
Yep, so for this week's council announcements, I just want to remind everyone, we've recently released our My Hero Season 7 and Demon Slayer Season 4 first looks. So if you want to hear our opinions about, those two titans coming back for their debut, go ahead and check that out. As well as Ace last week released his One Piece 1105 review. So if you're a One Piece fan, go ahead and go check that out as well. And last but not least, before I get into the agenda, I just want to let you all know that this week I will be featured on the Blerdmob's live stream, where we will be discussing X-Men 97, that series. So if you guys have any interest in checking our thoughts out on that, or hear my thoughts on that, tune in on Wednesday. I believe it'll be in the afternoon, around not mistaken, I think 5 Central, if I'm not mistaken. You can catch us over on Twitch on their channel. You can catch me over on Twitch on their channel. And then last but not least, did you want to say something before I get into the agenda?
Did you have one more? Yeah, no, you can go ahead and do the agenda real quick.
Okay, and then agenda for this episode, we'll be starting with our Ninja Kamui Season 1 review / discussion, then going into anime news, then running everything off with the weekly recommendation, and then closing out the episode. So.
That is correct. And also just a small update on the Gurren Otaku YouTube channel. So this week we're going to be having the 1106 One Piece episode review that's going to be dropping this week, as well as I'm a little behind on some of the main podcast episodes. So I think I need to put the Mashle episode out. That's where I'm at. I think that's episode 84, or that might be 85. That is episode 85. But as always, everybody, the true main source, I know I tell you this all the time. If you guys want to stay up to date truly on the podcast, please consider listening to on your favorite audio only platform. They are always up to date. Our boy McMillian is always on time. The videos just take a little bit longer because I be messing around trying to do different stuff every single time. And I now also have the One Piece series on my plate. So if you once again, if you want to stay up to date on the regular podcast episode series, please make sure you're tuning in to the audio only platforms.
Yeah, but also be sure to, if you do listen, please be sure to go and also show the YouTube some love. Ace does phenomenal work in editing, and I really feel like he should be congratulated on that. So don't be afraid to go on the YouTube and show Ace some love for his editing skills. He really does a good job. It just, takes a while because it's a little bit, more you got to do. And you'll see when you check it out. But with all that being said, Ninja Kamui Season 1, Ace.
There we go. All right. So, as he just said, Season 1, everybody. You can check it out on Hulu, I believe. I don't know if this is on Disney
Max,
Plus.
I think.
It's on Max. I know it's on Hulu because I watched it on Hulu.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
but I checked it out on Max.
Okay. Yeah. All right, bet. So you can check it on Hulu and Max. I'm not sure if it's on Disney Plus, but we definitely know it's on those two streaming services. So if you do want to, check this series out for yourself, you can go ahead and find it on those platforms. But let's just go ahead and get down to the nitty gritty. The main question, right? A lot of people were saying this show fell off, and I do agree to a certain extent, right? And so I don't even know where I want to start.
Well, if
I'm
we're
gonna
going,
just let you start. Because I don't even know where I want to start.
Well, if we're going with that, I also somewhat had the same. I also feel somewhat the same. I don't think it's as bad as some people were making it seem online. But it did slightly fall off from the beginning. So just to start off, I'll give you I'll give you the introduction of
Okay.
the how I felt like from watching let's say like the first 3 to 4 episodes.
Okay.
So
Sound to us.
Ninja Kamui is basically a revenge story. You start off with the show, you kind of like you don't know what's going on, and you see this one character get assassinated by a group of ninjas, and you're clocked in because the action looks amazing. It's fluid, it's animated great, all that. Then you get introduced to this family of 3. This guy named Joe Logan, his wife, and their son, and their day-to-day life, how it all looks, and they seem like a very happy family. Um and then obviously, something's about to happen, something bad about to happen, because obviously this started with a man getting assassinated. So like it's not about to happen for long. Lo and behold, like by the end of the first episode, Joe Logan is basically revealed to be a Japanese man, his wife a Japanese woman, and their son, Japanese boy, who all and they were attacked by basically the same group of ninjas that attacked this random guy that we saw in the beginning of the episode. The wife and the son are murdered, and the only one that survived was the dad. And you're like, holy shit's about to pop off, because obviously he's about to get his revenge. In the first 3 episodes, like basically within the first 3 episodes, you basically just learn about Higan, who's the main character, and how basically he plans to go about getting the revenge for his wife and son. We get introduced to like these FBI characters, and it's from there it's like a really good story. Just you're watching, it's just action. It's not really like obviously trying to be very fancy in its plot. It is a revenge story, point blank and simple, and it doesn't do, and it just and featuring ninjas and ninjas, and that's what it is. And it does a phenomenal job within like the first couple of episodes, selling you the story, selling you like the resolve of this character, all that.
See,
yeah, I don't know if you want to add anything.
I think that does a beautiful job of starting us off, because then that leads us essentially to like episode 5 and 6, where there's essentially a mood tone, a tone shift in the story, right? Because unfortunately, so throughout the series, we found out that the ninja has been working with this guy who owns this company called Osaka, right? And they're this highly, this big Alza, right? Big tech company, like the natural evil, big tech guy, right? Natural plot story like that. Long story short, the guy, the corporal guy, he made mech suits for the ninjas, and so that's when everything started taking a turn. Because now we're going from a story about ninjas to a story about ninjas and mech
suits.
And while I think I'll be the first to say it, and maybe not the first to say it. I don't hate the premise. I just think where they went wrong at is that this is not how the show was marketed. Right? It was marketed as a classic ninja tale, literally like a classic ninja revenge story, right? But then you start watching the show, and it is like that. But then episode like I said, 5 or 6, you get introduced to the mech suits, and you're like, oh, I didn't sign up for this.
and I'll be the first to say there are some people in the anime community, the moment mechs show up, they turn off, and I think that's where a lot of the hate got. I'm not like that. Ace isn't like that. We reviewed Gundam. We loved Gundam.
Oh yeah.
So, and this to the extent wasn't like really like mech suits on the level of Gundam. This was more like armor, right? And I'll even say like I felt like kind of Ace said, like I don't think necessarily like they were bad, but it was like the fact that this is not what you marketed towards, and then also. There was a tone shift also when kind of like these things got introduced, because one of the FBI agents was her name Emma. She was revealed basically to also be a like working for the Ninja working for the old ninja group that Higan used to be a part of, and then she kind of caught him up to speed with some of the other stuff.
I actually don't mind that storyline though. I think that was pretty decent.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna say like I wasn't saying it was bad. I was just saying like this is where the tone kind of shifted, because it went from like, oh, I gotta get revenge for my wife and son, to being like, the organization that I left has gotten way shittier than like what it was, right?
Supposed to be, yeah.
because at first they didn't leave because it got bad. They left because they wanted to start a family, which was frowned upon. And then you find out that, oh, after they left, it went downhill.
Yeah.
So then, like, basically, that's what I'm saying. Like, the story kind of shifted from Higan getting revenge to Higan also considering, like, hey, maybe I got to destroy the organization in its entire. I mean, I always gonna do this,
anyways,
but now I got to do it. But now,
a little bit for different reasons, though, not just revenge.
So like that's also where it kind of tonal shift. And for some people, they like I said, the mech thing, and plus that probably also made them just like write this story off. I won't, like I said in the beginning, I don't necessarily think it was like bad, but it was kind of like jarring because 1 second we're here, and now granted, I won't say like the mech suits came out of nowhere because they did show like
the only
throughout the first couple of episodes. Well, I didn't want to interrupt you. It sounded like you were about to say.
I was about to say the only teaser I saw was, and I had to go back and look at it after the mix got introduced. Was there was a small teaser in the intro, but that's about it.
Well, I was going to say there were characters that were shown to kind of have mix, like for instance, his name's Little. I hate that character. Oh my god, he's just annoying. But he was constantly in a mech suit, not fully covered, but like that was how he walked around and everything. Like he didn't walk around on his own. The short guy.
I guess it was. I guess it was like an advanced ninja.
Like I said. But what I'm saying is he was like he had constant like mech legs and stuff like that. Now, granted, that's not a full mech suit, but what I'm saying is it didn't the mech suits didn't technically come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
At least there was one character that was constantly somewhat in one, but still, like,
I feel you 100%, and I think that was really just the main issue is the fact that one this is not how it was marketed, and that was probably because, you know, this was like one of the main plot twists of the story, but like at the same time, unfortunately, when you mix genres, people like to know ahead of time and not be surprised like, mid-series.
I don't like technically bringing up other shows and somewhat reviewing them while we're doing a review, but biggest example of that is Yasuke, the Netflix anime, because that was marketed the way it was marketed was
just a fantasy magical samurai story.
So if anything at all, because at first I didn't even know, I don't think when I was watching the trailers or whatever for it, I noticed magic, but like that was how at least it was like samurai show. If you get into the show, samurai show about Yasuke, the first black samurai. You get into the show and it's more about like this white girl who got like some magical destiny that just happens to work with Yasuke, and then mechs are fucking robots are around for some reason. I'm just like, what time player does this happen?
Yeah, what time? No, that was odd as well. That was odd.
So Ninja Kamui, while not, you know, doing as much of the sin of that, it still does.
Yeah, because
kind of bring itself down.
I think when Ninja Kamui also kind of kept some of the same flavoring from those first few episodes before the mix introduced, because, you know, there were still action scenes without the mix and stuff like that. But unfortunately, the majority of the main fights were, you know, for the rest of the series, were in the mix, except for the battle against his friend. They did that justice. I mean, they started off in mix, but then they ended in the fist to fist.
Nice. Which I was like, at first, as a person who did not know that was how it was going to end when it first started and they were in mix, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, because I understand why. Because like tonally, the way they introduced mix, there's like, oh, it brings out 100% of your like ninja abilities,
your ninja
and I was
skills.
I was like, does a suit that glows really bring out 100% of my assassin stealth ability? I whatever, okay, but when it started, I was like, I get why. I just wasn't a fan of it. And then they were like, fuck it, we gonna fight fist to fist. I was like, okay, there we go. This is what I was.
It was like, there we go. This is what we was here for. And so I think that definitely what did it for people. And then I will say, I am going to skip a little bit ahead here. The climax of the series definitely did not help it. Like the final battle, that definitely didn't help people feel any better about it, because it definitely could have, like, you basically like the high speed battle showing en route, but then we get to the finale and it's very, very lackluster in my opinion. I don't know.
There were some okay moments, like I want to say Mike confronting the Alza guy, because that was funny, and the way they did it was good. And like, granted, this didn't happen in the finale, but like Emma's final scenes, I thought were also like really well done.
Was nice as well. That was nice as well.
But yeah, when Higan versus the final big bad, Yamaji.
Yeah,
it did not have as much weight as I felt like it should have,
at all. Because first of all, they don't really explain to us like until the end, like why Yamaji is doing what he's doing, but they don't really never tell us who Yamaji is, like where this man came from, how did he become like second in command to, before he even killed the master, because we had already assumed he killed the master and took control and all that, right? But we don't even know how he got to be in the power of how he was in the begin with, right? It's just I don't know.
Yeah, because he was technically there before he got his wife inside.
Throughout the entire series, he was using this cool force-like ability, but then in the final fight, he doesn't use it at all.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. They show him like to be Darth Vader, and then they don't show him do that at all against Higan. And I'm just like, is it because it wouldn't work on him?
Like, I thought that was his secret ninja technique, and then they pulled out this this domain expansion for his secret technique, essentially. And I'm just like, okay, my guy.
What are we doing here, right? Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? And like, you don't even use it once. It would have been cool, because I don't know how it would, anyway they would have used it, would have been cool, right? Because it's just a cool ability. Just use it. Not even once during the finale. You just want to use it on the low life people, right? They don't even explain that. And then because it's like some of this stuff is like, is this a ninja part like fantasy stuff as well? Because like some of these abilities they doing are like just straight up like on some Naruto level stuff, right?
Yeah, which I said like I feel like that was somewhat passable, only because like ninjas and secret ninja arts are kind of just like gelled together. Did I expect it to be at the level that it was when the show started? Like when Higan grew them extra arms and heads, I was like, I didn't necessarily expect this to happen. I'm not against it, but this is also somewhat surprising.
Yeah. And I think that just doubles down on the hatred for everybody, because it was supposed to be a classic ninja story, and unfortunately with the suits and everything getting introduced and just being muddied up all the fights and stuff, you no longer have a classic ninja story.
Yeah, you have futuristic ninja corporation tech suit type battle. Yeah, it just kind of
need to be suits that need to be charged mid battle while they're fighting. Niggas literally going to pose that's raising out of the ground, charging up their backs and shit. Like, what are we talking about here?
that was weird. I was like, again, it brought up the question: is this really maximizing my ninja abilities? Is it really?
What are we talking about here? And I know kind of like the whole thing was like, oh, they were making this new energy, right? So they can kind of like perfect the suits or whatever, but still, it's still dumb. Yeah, it's still dumb. No.
Yeah, it was imperfect to say the least, probably. I mean, but again, I guess you can only do so much with like a 13 episode show. So
yeah, but I mean, the cards, you get this is the cards you're dealt. This is the story you're dealt with. I mean, it's just I do think it would have been a little bit if we just stuck to a classic ninja story. But like I kind of see what like I said, I don't hate the concept. I see what they were going for. It's just that you should have told us this is what we're getting into beforehand.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No,
because I don't necessarily hate the concept.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I just if we had, I guess, like you said, if we had more of the information going in, it'll be just a bit better, because it wouldn't have caught people off guard. And then you could like prepare yourself for it. But like I said, like the rushing of it didn't help, right? So
yeah,
that's just the whole thing.
I do think I will say probably some of the best stuff that did come out of it. One was the action, and then the side story that we did have with Emma and the detective going on. Right, that was cool. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was good. Like I said, there was some great character moments. There's some great action scenes and stuff like that. And that's why I'm like, I don't want to write the show off completely, because even when it did change, like up kind of like the center of the story, it still it still did pretty good. So like I would probably say
Yes.
it didn't stick its landing. It fumbled a bit, but it wasn't like terrible. I'll
Yeah,
say.
they didn't. Yeah, they fumbled a bit. Like it could have. I guess if we're going to if we did, well, before we do that, is there anything before we rate the episode or the series rather? Was there anything else you wanted to touch up on, whether maybe a certain moment or a certain character or something that you wanted to touch up on?
I don't know, because I feel like I've touched up on everything. I'll say it was one thing I will say. I feel like towards the end they kind of try to make Higan's wife a bigger part of the show than I feel like what they intend. Because like I don't want to say like it's bad, because I kind of get what they're saying. Like they didn't want. I don't think they wanted to make her seem like just a useless character,
Yeah,
or just like a just like a plot device, right? But I just felt like they didn't. Again, it maybe just because they didn't have enough time, it just felt rushed. So that was like one thing I did. I was like, not saying I don't appreciate this. It just feels like y'all could have done this a bit better, because like when Emma's character, I felt like how they, technically she was with us for the beginning all the way through. So when they brought up her backstory, it didn't feel like it was just like
thrown
placed.
in our face. Yeah,
Yeah, but
and
his wife's
it did make
backstory.
sense as well.
Yeah, but his wife's backstory just kind of felt like, here, have it. Like I don't. It was just odd.
Not here,
Like,
have it.
I mean, that's kind of how they just introduced it. They were like, she was one of the best. She was like considered to be like the next head of the clan.
One
And
of
I'm
the
like,
next head with them three. Yeah, one of the
yeah.
three.
And I was like, and again, I'm not saying that you're lying, but I would have appreciated seeing some of that in action before.
Yeah, because we
like,
never did. We didn't get to see her do. Well, no, we got to see her do a little extra stuff right on that one mission they went on.
Oh well, like again, but that was after she died. What I'm saying is, like, I would have appreciated that, like up front.
Yeah, and maybe it would have been. Well, I don't know if it would have been cool to kind of see this, but maybe like a final stand from her during that first episode, right?
Yeah,
Unfortunately, even though she did die,
helped.
but that might have, like you said, that might would have helped a little bit though.
Because like my thing is, until you get to the episode, like at least the flashbacks with his wife, you could have just thought his wife was some random lady.
No, because I assumed she was a ninja, because in the first episode, when you go in with the dead body, there's other dead ninjas in there, like laid around beside her. So I was like, oh, she took down these guys, and there's no way she could have took down this many without being a regular civilian. One, okay, maybe you can get the hang of one, but it was like 4 or 5 of them guys. Like, you're a ninja. You're a ninja.
No, I was like, to be fair, yes, you're right. You're not wrong on that. I just wish we could have got to see maybe her.
Yeah, I feel you. But it still would have been cool to see more of like a final stand type moment. I'm with you there. Yeah, I'm with you there as well.
Yeah. But it's Suhigan's eyes, and I get it. So, but yeah, let's
And
you
like
got anything before we rate?
Yeah, and some of the side characters, I will say, as far as like the ninja villains, quote unquote, right? I know you already mentioned this. You hated Little, right? He had them one-liners for your ass, though.
He did. He was funny sometimes, but like a lot of times, I was just like, all right, this nigga annoying. Get him out.
He had them one-liners for you, though. Like I said, I do think like the best side story that was going on, like in regards to the main story, was the Emma and Mike's storyline that we had going on with them. That was beautiful. They did a wonderful job on that side story, right? I was a little I can't remember her name, but the bodyguard for the corporal guy.
Oh,
Dilly here. Dilly, yes,
it's
there
Dilly,
we go. Joseph's assistant, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that came from, but I guess kind of how they. I don't know. I'm still deciding if I was going to let them slide with that or not, because the way they explained it, she was like, I've been a ninja for my whole life. And, he's talking some good stuff because, essentially he was like, why work a job that you don't like and stuff, be free. You have a choice. But but the
Yeah.
ninjas thing was like, we have no choices and stuff like that. So it was kind of the same thing that Higan and his wife was saying, but in a different light, but by the freaking evil guy we've been messing with all season. So like, I'm not trying to hear that from him. Like
Exactly.
I'm not trying to hear that from him. So yeah, that was just a little weird to me because like, she protected him in the end and all that. And I was like, okay, I'm not sure how I quite feel about this, but okay.
It was. I'm assuming they were trying to do like a foil situation, like the show, like the opposite, what the opposite side kind of looks like. But again, it felt kind of just throwing it in there because it was near the end. So
yeah. I think that's why it feels like that. But yeah, just overall, I think I'll get those thoughts about some of the characters. The black guy was cool. He was alright.
Mike.
Yeah, no, the other one, the ninja one,
Big D.
Yeah, Big D. Yeah.
He was funny to me only because like he could have killed them and he was like, I don't do that sucker shit. And he left.
He left.
He left and then before his final fight, he was getting faded. And I was like, you know what? As funny as this is that's real. I feel like I would make sure my cut fresh too before a final fight. You know,
get one last line up. Make sure you crisp.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure your casket sharp. I feel you. I feel you. Got to make sure your casket sharp, especially if you're going to your. Especially this might be your last fight.
It's like you want to look good if you win or die. So like, why not?
No, why not? Why not? You can go ahead and get this last line up in. I feel you. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's some of the stuff I had to say about the character. And I guess overall for Joseph, he didn't really have any character development to me. He was, like I said, just your regular evil corpo main guy, right? Evil scientist guy.
Yeah. And I think that wasn't bad for him. Like I think having him just be like a money hungry kind of exec dude was probably perfect. And because I like I said, I like his final moment, like the last scene with him and Mike have together, because I think it's hilarious because it really shows like he ain't nothing. He ain't shit. He's just he's just the money. He's just like the head of this corporation. He has like no fight. He has no fight in him. If he's confronted about something hard enough, he'll fold. That's about it. Like I thought that was like a perfect thing to say because like he wasn't really like the big bad in this situation. It was
he technically wasn't. Yeah, you're right. It was the ninja organization in Yamaji because he gave the order and he's at the head. Yeah. Okay, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and rate this series. So, the Ninja Kamui series, what would 1 out of 10, or I guess even 0 out of 10? What you give it?
I'd probably give this like a 7.5.
Okay,
because
I thought I was gonna be too generous, but I was thinking around at least a 7 as well. But I was like, should I give like a 6 or 7 too generous?
I was thinking. Well, I'm 7.5. If you don't like mechs or anything like that, I could see you giving it like maybe a 5 or a 6.
A 5 or 6, yeah.
Because it becomes such a big part of the story after they're introduced. But like for me, like I said, I'm not really too thrown off about mech stuff like that. It was just very, like I said, it felt hammed in because it came out of nowhere. But other than that, I still feel like the story. Like I enjoyed what I watched. I enjoyed the story. And I felt like, everything besides like those things that were kind of thrown in at the end were still very strong. So for me, I'd probably still give it like a 7 to 7.5, somewhere in that range.
I'm with you there. I was going to give it a 7, like I said, 7 to a 6 as well. But I think, I like I said, overall, I think I just got to give it a 7. It's definitely not an 8 or a 9. But as you already stated, the mix really didn't, like they threw me off. But like I already mentioned, I don't hate the concept though. I just think if you would have just told me beforehand, hey, this is a new spin on a ninja revenge story with mix and stuff like that, right? Just tell people what they're getting into beforehand. It might be a little bit more easier to digest because I already know what I'm getting into. But, I start watching this classic ninja revenge story. And it's great for the first 3 to 4 episodes. Like, I'm talking about classic action, gore, blood everywhere. It's really nice. And we actually getting some decent, lore and everything. And then, here come the suits. And it's like, oh, well, where this come from? But like I said, you keep watching it because you're already invested at this point, and you realize, okay, there's still some of the old elements, right? Before from those first few episodes, there's still some of those elements in the series, and it's not like the mix completely got rid of those moments, right? It's just they did take up a lot of the major moments, though. Unfortunately, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Um,
before we move on to news, I just wanted to ask, we both gave it like a 7, which means we would recommend it to somebody. But if you're in your case, if you recommend it to someone, would you warn them about the mech suits, or would you just let them?
I was about to say this will be like this is a very particular recommendation, right? I would definitely. It would be very particular person I would recommend this to. Be like, hey, I'm gonna mention this to you because I know maybe the type of stuff you like. But but I'm gonna go ahead and warn you beforehand though. It's mix and stuff, right? And don't be fooled about it. The first I will give them their preface because I do think that is unfortunately a downfall of the part of the story.
Okay, yeah. So I was going even though I put this question up,
I guess
was
like
going
a
back
small,
and forth.
not necessarily a downfall, maybe a small blemish is a better terminology.
Of the story.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I myself am a little bit on the fence of it because this is kind of like a particular taste of a person I would probably like recommend this to, and part of me is like, depending on I feel like depending on the person, I would probably warn them. Like if I know they're kind of thrown off by like mechs and stuff like that, I probably would give them a thing in advance, be like, hey, just so you know, I know since I know about you, they do. Mechs are involved in this in a small way, in a very small way. So just be aware. That kind of does throw the story off a bit. But like if I know the person is kind of like me, like where mechs doesn't bother them too much, I might let it be a surprise. It really just because to me, like again, like I said, it threw me off only just a little. Like it was like I don't know why this is here. I'm not gonna stop watching.
Yeah,
but
and see, and also for me, I was also kind of prepared for it because unfortunately I got spoiled by the internet by the mixed stuff and that was going on with it, and because that's when all the hate and the discontent started online about it started happening, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. But like like I said, you start watching and it's like, okay, like I'm not mad at the concept, but I am, I'm with the other people though. I am understanding their frustrations and the anger, right? Because this is not what we signed up for at all. This was just kind of like just introduced. They just put in like, hey, guess what? I made the ninja suits.
He's like, what would make this better? Mech suits. And then you just got the audience like, who asked for this? So that's why I said, like, I feel like it would depend on the person I guess I'm recommended to. Because, like I said, this is already one, like, a specific type of recommendation. This isn't, like, something I would go out my way to recommend. But, like, with that caveat, it would depend on the person, like, and how I know they feel about mix and stuff like that. That would determine whether or not I give them the warning in advance.
Because like you said, some people, they just don't vibe with the mix at all.
Yeah, the moment them shits come on, people just they be like, dude, I checked out.
Oh, this got robots in it? Got niggas and bots? Immediate turn on.
Immediate. It's crazy.
Almost is. It's okay. I'm not gonna go there. We're not gonna start this up today. This is a whole different topic. We're not gonna start this up today. This is a podcast channel. This is a anime podcast channel. We're not gonna get into that other discourse today. But all right, everybody. So that is the end of the Ninja Kamui. I'm pretty sure that's the end of the series altogether. I'll be hella surprised they come back with
season 2.
Season 2. I'm not even going on with you. I'll be hella surprised. But yeah, this should be like one of those 13 episode one and done type of situations going on. So, once again, you can find the series on Hulu and HBO Max, but do be aware, I do think Hulu is taking it off because when I was watching it, they had like this little note that said like expiring in like 8 days or whatever. So they might actually be about to take it off of Hulu. But if you can't find it on Hulu, then check HBO Max.
Yeah, because I do believe this is supposed to be like a tsunami type of thing. Like if I'm not mistaken. So I'm pretty sure it's going after at least the only place you're going to be able to watch it
is probably on Tsunami.
On Max, which is
Adult Swim and all that stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, but with all that being said, everybody, it's time for my favorite part of the episode, and hopefully some of you guys' favorite part of the episode as well. Everybody, it is time for GOC News, your weekly source for your favorite anime news. So let's get into it. All right, everybody. Once again, it's time for some news, and we got a docket today, don't we? Don't we, McMillian?
Yep.
we got a little docket today, so. I think we're gonna switch it up, everybody, and we're gonna start with some new series announcements today. Start with a little, put a little pep in your step for this news, right? So,
Okay.
I know McMillian is a big fan of this one. Highly acclaimed manga series, Sakamoto Days, is getting its anime adaptation. You know, it was being rumored for a long time, but the announcement finally came around. It's being produced. I can't remember what studio is producing it, but it's being published by Netflix though, so it's good. You're gonna be able to find it on Netflix. But it's not actually Netflix Studios doing the producing. It is another studio doing it. A listed studio is by Netflix own. I can't remember the name of the studio. I don't think I wrote that down. I do apologize, but it is listed for 2024.
Oh, 2020. It should say 2025. I don't.
Oh, 2025. You might.
Yeah, I might have.
It's okay. It is listed for 2025. Everybody, and there is a an announcement teaser out. With a little animation trailer for it as well. So you can check that out.
Yep, but this should be a fun watch for people. Like if I know Spies and stuff have been really popular. Sakamoto Days does a great job of doing those storylines, but also being very funny. It is very hilarious. So when it does come out, I hope everybody tunes into it. It's a very good show.
All right, you want to take this next one?
But yep. So next new series we have Blue Lock is getting a spin-off novel for some of the characters. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the title because it did not have an English name at the time of when we put this down. But basically, it's a prequel story novel focused on the characters Aryu, Baro, and Yukimiya. Two of those characters, I believe, we have been introduced. One of them we haven't within like the first season of Blue Lock. So if you do decide to look up information about this, just be careful because it could.
I was about to say
spoilers.
Baru and Yukimiya sounds familiar. I don't know about this Aryu guy.
Yeah, I was about to say like I said, I believe two of the characters we have been introduced to in season 1, but be careful if you're going to go look up any more information on the series because it could contain spoilers if you're not caught up to the manga or anything like that. So.
That is correct. So just be careful of those manga spoilers out there, anime analysts. You got to be very. If you do choose to go do some Google searching, you got to be very detailed. I recommend looking up some Google Search University. Can't remember the name of this YouTube class, but Google has some very detailed. You can get very detailed in how you want to do your Google searches. So just just be careful out there and do your research properly. Is all I'm trying to say.
Only you can prevent spoilers.
Yes, only you can prevent spoilers. Only you. All right, next up, everybody. So, one of my favorite new series that came out recently, Mashle, Magic and Muscles, got announced for a new anime series. So I don't know if this means, it says they say new anime sequel officially announced. So I don't know if they just mean like a
season 3,
like a season 3. There you go. Thank you. Or if they mean like how they do a new series a la Naruto Shippuden, something like that, right? I'm not sure if that's what they mean, but as of right now, I'm just gonna assume they're talking about season 3. So. Season 3 has been announced, everybody. That's what I'm going to say for right now. And there is a small announcement teaser for this as well that you guys go and check out as well.
Yep. And then
also speaking of Mashle, our season 2 view is out now. Coming to YouTube as well, but it's on out on your audio only platforms.
Shameless plug. All right, and so next we have for new series, the Record of Ragnarok manga is going to get another spinoff because it already has one, if I'm not mistaken. But basically this spinoff is going to be from the gods' perspective, because for those who have watched Record of Ragnarok, you know that it's technically taking place from the perspective of the Valkyries/human side. So this spinoff, which is titled Record of Ragnarok Forbidden Tale Apocalypse of the Gods, is going to be told from the gods' perspective of the story. Okay. So, yep.
All right, everybody. Then last but not least, Fairy Tail fans, where you're at, Fairy Tail fans, rise up, everybody. The long-awaited 100-Year Quest anime adaptation is here, everybody, and it's going to be premiering on July the 7th, right around this summer. So it's finally happened, everybody. I'm just going to go ahead and say, Fairy Tail is a cult classic. It is one of my cult classics as well. It's, one of my favorite classic animes. Even though, and I will say this all the time, even though the ending was definitely not as great as it was supposed to be. The final season in general, it wasn't as great as supposed to be. I am still hella excited for this new series because I heard there was some good stuff in here.
I am also excited as a Fairy Tail fan. Preface, if you haven't seen Fairy Tail, good show. But it does have
the power of friendship.
Yeah, I was about to say, do I want to just say like what it is right out? It does have the power of friendship.
You gonna find out about it in the first season, so you might as well tell them.
Yeah, there's a lot of power of friendship ass pulls, and there's a healthy amount of fan service in the show, but
but it's okay though. These were the olden times. It's more of your natural taste in fan service, and it's not. Is it almost as bad as Fire Force? I don't think it's as bad as Fire Force, because I think Fire Force is more of like forced fan service, and Fairy Tail is more just like the natural fan service.
It's baked in. Like Fire Force, you could be in the middle of a fight and fan service come out of nowhere. And Fairy Tail, it's just a part. It's just a part of the story. It's just a part of the thing. But I am excited for 100-Year Quest. I have also heard good things. Surprisingly, I did not read the manga for this one.
Okay.
So I will also be a new watcher for this when it does get premiered on July 7th. So yeah, very excited.
Interesting. All right, well, everybody, we got a few up and coming releases as well coming in June. No, for the summer releases here. Oshinoko, everybody, season 2 is going to be premiering on July the 3rd. So everybody go ahead and get ready for that season 2 for some more murder mystery, if you will. Oshinoko was one of my favorite. I
was going to say, as well as reveals about, the industry that gives us entertainment. So.
Oh, well, there we go. All right. I didn't even, it's going to be some more stuff. Wait, what do you mean about that?
Well, because, Oshinoko also talks about, like, the entertainment industry.
Oh, the entertainment. Like, okay.
Because, the first season, they talked about, like, how, TV shows
and stuff is made and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like a little bit
specifically. Yeah. And so this one, if people don't remember, this season is going to be primarily focused on Japan's live theater performances.
Oh, okay.
Or like adaptations of stuff, so you get to learn more about that.
That's cool.
Within this season. There's also a promo video out for it, but it will be premiering
and a visual as well.
Mm-hmm.
And a promo visual. But yeah, I think Oshinoko was a fantastic murder mystery that started airing. What was that, last year? I do need to finish the first season though. I got like a few episodes left, like probably like 4 just in that first season I got to finish. So yeah, I definitely am excited for Oshinoko season 2. There has been some decisive stuff I've been hearing about that's been going on in the manga.
As a person who's not caught up right now, I am dreading what they're talking about because it does not sound good.
It's just a lot of I've been trying to like skip over the discourse. I don't know really truly what's going on, but there's some type of discourse going on in the middle of the series, and I guess we'll find out. But you want to? I'll let you do your show here.
Kogias fans, where you at? Wake up! Rose of the Recapture has finally gotten a premiere date over here for the West. We're getting the anime debut on Disney Plus June 21st. And it's coming out here as 12 weekly episodes because over in the East, they're doing like movie parts basically, but here it'll be released episodically on Disney Plus come June 21st. I am really excited because I've heard since its release over in Japan, some people who have seen it have been doing reviews, and it sounds like they have basically done a really good job of continuing the series, even though we don't have our goat anymore. I will not spoil what that means for people who have not seen it, because you should definitely go check out Kogias. But yeah. For those that know.
Kogias is another cult classic. If you have yet not had a chance to check it out, please do. It's a good one. I will say mechs, mechs.
Yeah, I was just about to say, since we talked about it, there are mechs, but it is a great show.
Get the good old mechs preface. Mm-hmm. but this time the mechs are a integral part of the story, though. It's not something I feel like that was just like baked in for the sake of being baked in.
Yeah, there's really, I mean, like, they're in the first episode, so it's like no surprise when they show up. So
yeah, but just in case you didn't know, just wanted to give y'all that preface.
And you just wanted to check it out. Check out the series. Next.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
But all right, so let's go ahead and get to some general, news that's going around with the industry and, just the anime verse in general, right, everybody? So, those new Naruto anime episodes that we're supposed to be getting, everybody, we are still getting them, thankfully. They're good. There has been a report coming out that's saying that the new animation for the Naruto episodes are scheduled to release this fiscal year.
Oh.
Do with that information what you will.
Okay. That's nice. So you it looks like, based on our docket, that this information comes from a financial report from Tokyo TV.
Yes.
That was held on May 21st. Okay, so basically it is still coming, and supposedly we should get it within this year.
Correct.
Okay, that's good to hear.
So like,
because I was like, because I think last time we talked about it, we were surprised that they were Well, we weren't surprised because they technically showed off new animation for older episodes in that like celebration thing.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we were like, I don't know when the fuck this is supposed to be happening, because they don't really say. So it's good to know, since we've last talked about it, which I'm pretty sure was a while ago. That it's still that it actually still exists. Like
it still exists. It is a thing. They did not trick us. It is still a thing. There's also supposed to be apparently a live action Naruto in the works. We're not gonna get too deep into that because nobody asked for that. But do with that information what you will as well.
There's no news on that other than it could be happening. But next for general news, Jujutsu Kaisen, the manga that cannot be stopped, has ranked number 1 in the U.S. monthly book scan for April. For those that don't know, Bookscan is an app that a lot of people use to read light novels and manga here in the States. So just so people are aware, that's where like this poll or like information comes from. Lit. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen staying on top.
Lit. All right, and then Eminence and Shadow fans, where you at? Because the trailer for the new Lost Echoes film has arrived, everybody. I don't think we got a release date. If we did, I do apologize. I forgot to write it down.
I don't think we got one either.
New trailer. If there is a new trailer, it'll be up on screen for the whenever there does get on YouTube. But yeah, there is a new teaser trailer out though. It's pretty decent. It does look like in the trailer, like we saw our boy Shadow fighting himself, so that may be a little bit part of like the Lost Echoes, name they're going on.
Yeah, and it does seem like he is, like, how it basically looks like it is taking place from where we left off in this series, because he looks like he seems to be in a modern setting. I won't exactly say what that means for people who have not caught up for the second season, but
correct.
This does look to be a continuation of like where we left off, at least.
All right.
And then for this next bit of news, this is just an announcement that Hulu made. Hulu will be streaming Boruto and Go-Go Loser Rangers anime English dubs in June. June for Boruto, that will be June 1st when this anime English dub will be streamed by Hulu. And for Go-Go Loser Ranger, that'll be June 12th. So for the dub fans, if you're been waiting for the dubs to come out, there you go.
There you go. All right, everybody. And then for my One Piece fans, everybody, the One Piece anime will be taking over the Las Vegas Sphere from June 10th to June 16th, 2024. And of course, once we find some more information about that, we'll share that with you guys. But as far as we know, they're going to be doing a special promo for the 25th anniversary here for One Piece. And they're going to be taking over the Las Vegas Sphere once again, between June 10th and June 16th.
Yeah, we have no idea what they'll be showing because all it says in the promo is going to be like some larger than life visuals. Not sure what that means, but hey, it'll be on the Sphere. So come that time, maybe we'll actually have like videos or something to show people of what's out there. But for this next bit of news, since we talked about Fairy Tail, just so everyone's aware, this other series, Eden Zero, also made by the creator of Fairy Tail, apparently its a manga, will be coming to an end within the next 5 chapters, and that is going to be scheduled. Its end is scheduled for June 26th. So for those who have been keeping up with the Eden Zero manga, you know, get ready for the series to come to a close.
Because the author's still working on the 100 Year Quest manga too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he can wrap this up and then go make his full attention back to the fairy tale series now.
Yeah, I was about to say he's been kind of working these in parallel, basically, from what it seems. But also, I know Netflix has also been basically
streaming
publishing
Eden Zero.
Yeah, Eden Zero. So for also the anime fans of Eden Zero, hopefully, whenever it returns, they'll be able to follow along with the story much more cleanly if they haven't already. So yeah, good news. Good, I guess, good yet somewhat somber news.
And all right, then last but not least, another cult classic, everybody. The Tokyo Ghoul anime is celebrating their 10th anniversary, and for a surprise for everybody, they're gonna be releasing all 50 episodes of the series distributed for free on their official YouTube channel, everybody, starting on April the 5th. So if you had not yet had a chance to check out Tokyo Ghoul, for whatever reason that you don't have access to any of these streaming services and things of that nature, you're going to be able to watch the entire series for free starting April the 5th on YouTube.
Yep.
So I think that's really cool.
Yep. Studio Parrot's I believe I'm pronouncing Studio Parrot's YouTube channel. That's where you can find it. I'm just gonna say this as a huge Tokyo Ghoul fan. If you do decide to watch this, read the manga afterwards, because there is a deviation. And I was telling Ace before we put this news on there, if they just kept with it, this Tokyo Ghoul would have went down as one of the best animes. I swear to you, the manga is phenomenal.
And then, even watching it, you can kind of tell there was something off about it, because from the end of season 1 to season 2, there was such a big jump and stuff, information you're just missing. You're just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. As a manga fan, I was like, hold on now, what the fuck is this bullshit? So. Yeah,
but it is still a good series though. But I was about to say, like McMillian said, unfortunately though, it got hit with the treatment where it did not get to follow the manga, exactly. But hopefully one day we get a full Metal Alchemist treatment for Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, Tokyo Ghoul, Soul Eater, stuff like I'm hoping, I'm praying, because it's so good. But that was it for our news segment here. So we're going to move on to last, but certainly not least, this week's weekly recommendation. And I think I have a very interesting one for people here. Me and Ace both feel like this was kind of like a sleeper hit of an anime.
I didn't even know McMillian was cultured like this, everybody. I did not even know he was cultured like this. So he has a special one for you, and I'm definitely going to let him introduce or give out the details as always. But nonetheless, everybody, this week's weekly recommendation is Radiant.
Yep. So for those that don't know, Radiant is somewhat I'll put it somewhat akin to Black Clover. Basically, it focuses on a main character named Seth. He does it not in Black Clover in the sense that Seth doesn't have magical abilities, but he has a dream of becoming this world's magic knight kind of sort of thing, if you will. And basically he goes around, but his teacher, his master, basically wants to keep him pigeonholed to this one island and under her watch. And we don't really get that until something happens where the island in which Seth resides, and we find out that the people that kind of Seth has looked up to, these magic knights, want him dead. As you go throughout the story, you get to figure out why that happens, and Seth meets a lot of people and learns that there's different types of sorcerers, and that the people, these magic knights that he kind of looked up to, aren't as good as they seem to be. But there's also a mystery hidden within Seth himself that unravels as you go throughout the adventure. The series is really good. This is apparently Radiant is based on a French manga that I did not know of. Apparently the series also, it deviates a little bit from its manga, so a lot of people recommend reading it. It has 2 seasons out. Unfortunately, the anime kind of leaves off on a cliffhanger.
Unfortunately.
And there's it's been a while since the show's been on, so no one knows.
It's almost looking like a Magi situation, unfortunately, here. But
yeah, and so no one knows if it'll ever come back in terms of the anime to finish. But people do recommend reading the manga anyway, because they already say it deviates from the story enough to where manga readers have a problem with it. And the manga is said to be really good as well. So just to let you know, but it's 2 seasons out, 42 episodes that are dubbed and subbed in multiple languages. So
See.
you can find that on Crunchyroll. I believe it might also be streaming on Hulu, but if not, you can definitely find all of the episodes on Crunchyroll for your viewing pleasure.
One thing my boy McMillian did not mention, if he did, I must have missed it. But this is also a monster hunting story as well. One of the main premises of the story is that they're trying to find the legendary place called Radiant, and it's said to be the home of the main monsters that's in the series here. So that's essentially what they're trying to find the nest and wipe it out, almost like some Attack on Titan stuff. Eliminate all Titans type shit.
Yeah, these special. I did forget that is also another central plot of the story, is that there are the Magic Knights. Basically, it's their job to hunt these monsters that are called Nemesis. Yeah, and basically make sure that they're wiped out, because that's why the organization exists in the first place. But as you get deeper into the story, you find out maybe different than what it seems.
Maybe,
but yeah,
all may not be as it seems. Yeah. This was just like one of those random pickups, and I think you said it as well. It was a random pickup for you, and it was just so happy it'll turn out to be a fantastic watch. So definitely go and check it out. And I'm sorry to interrupt you there.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say basically what you said is I was gonna say I randomly picked this up one day and I just really enjoyed it. It's as we say on the podcast a lot, it's not the best shit ever, but it is a very fun story, and it features it's heavily magic based and fantasy based, which is already like me and Ace's alley. So if that's not something interesting to you, this might not be the rec for you, but it is a very fun story. It's not, I won't say like it's not too nitty gritty, it's not too like deep, but it is very fun and lighthearted and enjoyable. So if you're looking for just a show to put on and get lost in a bit, Radiant is a great choice.
100%.
Yep, but with that, that's all for this episode. So I'm gonna go ahead and take us on out of here. As always, appreciate you for watching this last listen. If you want to stay up to date on all things about the council, consider to follow us on our social media. That is at Gurren Otaku's on Twitter, at Gurren Otaku Council everywhere else. If you want to, show your support, show your love, consider hitting that YouTube subscribe button, that like button, and the bell notification so you can stay up to date on all our releases, as well as let us know down in the comments what you thought of today's episode, Ninja Kamui, all that stuff. If there's anything you think we should check out from this season that we haven't talked about as well, please let us know. For those that are listening, consider giving the podcast a follow, going over to YouTube, watching some of the episodes and giving us a follow there, but also following us on whatever streaming platform you do listen to us on, writing a review. It helps us grow a lot. But as always, guys, continue to enjoy anime, continue to enjoy the season, because I think it's spring has been really phenomenal so far. Or no, are we in summer?
No, it's spring. You're right.
Okay, and I was like, I know it's summer outside, so that's why I was like, are we in summer yet? The spring season, not yet. The spring season of anime has really been hitting the ground running, I feel like, within like the last couple of weeks. So continue to enjoy that. But this is Gurren Otaku Council saying, meeting adjourned. Peace out, everyone.